So apparently, it's happening. EVs are going to completely destroy the internal combustion engine cars. And I'm saying this because apparently the Yangwang U9, an EV, which has a track version of this, which has 2,900 and something horsepower. Okay, that's an insane amount of horsepower. I don't know how anyone's supposed to use that kind of horsepower in an EV where the power is right there when you step on the pedal. So anyway, this car apparently has made the record for the fastest EV ever in terms of top speed, and it made 293 miles of speed. That's insane to think about, and it's probably the second fastest car of all time, but I don't think it's an official record because apparently to get the record you need to go one side and then come back the other side, and so this is kind of has the top speed record in the same way that the Bugatti does. The Bugatti went one side too, but the fact that this car could do it and had that much power is insane to think about. But honestly, it's a bit boring to think about. I mean, it's a really fast EV with a lot of horsepower, and sure, it looks good, but still, it's an EV, and the fact that it's going to be breaking all the records is kind of boring and sad to think about. I mean, think about it. Ever since the Model S Plaid came out, horsepower has pretty much become meaningless to everyone. When it comes to EVs, if anything that EVs have destroyed in terms of what make cars appealing to people, it's the horsepower thing. Because the electric motors can put out a lot of horsepower. And if you put four motors on all four wheels, you can put out a lot of horsepower. That's just the way the technology is. And it can outperform internal combustion engine cars in each segment, depending on how much stated tune of the motors has or something. I don't know how the motors work exactly in terms of the power figures. But yeah, the horsepower numbers are pretty much pointless, and the top speed number as a result of that is going to be pointless too. I mean, the only thing that was holding any EV back from breaking every record is the aerodynamics, and the Yangwang U9, it has the aerodynamics, and apparently this is a track version, so it's even more aerodynamic, and it puts out that much power. I mean, 2,900 horsepower, that's insane to think about. I mean, should a car have that much horsepower? Shouldn't there be a limit to how much horsepower you can put in a car? I mean, it's one thing for the other internal combustion engine cars to have that kind of power, but those cars, you don't get the power that quickly. Sure, it's quick, but there's still a small reaction time you get as a driver. But with these EVs, yeah, I don't know if you'll even be able to see these cars flying past when you step on the pedal. That's how quick it is. So how is anyone supposed to react to it? I'm also concerned about the speed that these EVs possess, and I personally feel like there should be some regulation or something that forces the EVs to go at certain speeds. I mean, inside the city or something, there should be a speed limit that's lower than the speed limit for the internal combustion cars because of the instant acceleration, or maybe do something about the instant acceleration, maybe dull it down a bit, because these are still people driving these cars at the end of the day, and it's concerning to think about. But anyway, so this is apparently the fastest EV ever, and I wouldn't be surprised if in a few months or a year or this car or another EV comes out and it breaks the record of the Bugatti, and it breaks what was the top speed of the Bugatti? I think it's 303 miles or something they managed. I wouldn't be surprised if this breaks that. I mean, this raised 293, so I mean, I guess if you think about it, a bit more power from those motors could get those extra miles in terms of speed. Now, whether the driver will be handling that, I have no idea. But yeah, the EVs have pretty much destroyed the value of the horsepowers. I mean, almost nobody cares about horsepower because of the EVs anymore. Before it was a bragging right. My car had this much horsepower, this car had this much horsepower, but since EVs entered the game, that became meaningless. And the top speed thing, that also became meaningless. Now the only thing that's left is the handling and driving dynamics of the internal combustion cars, which they still do have a bit of an advantage because the EVs do have batteries that are weighing them down. So it's hard for them to be as good as handling as the internal combustion cars, depending on the segment. I mean, sure, higher up when it comes to the hypercars and all, yeah, they can do it, but those are really expensive. But yeah, that's the only thing left, and I guess we still have that for the time being. I mean, the internal combustion cars do handle better. But I'm sure there'll be a point where even that goes away. There's some new EV battery technology comes out that makes the cars really light, or they figure some way around it. And the only thing left is the sound of the internal combustion engine. And I guess that'll mean that it won't be much of an argument anymore. I mean, you're arguing for a car that's technically inferior to this technology just for the sounds that the engine makes. It's not a strong enough argument. And it's sad to think about, I guess. Now, whether these EV supercars and hypercars will be popular, yeah, I don't think so. As long as there's the option of the internal combustion engine, I think people are still going to go for those cars. And in another way to look at it, I mean, those cars will become classics because the technology is going away soon. So there'll be rare collector's items, and that's something to brag about, which EVs won't be able to brag about because the technology is honestly going to keep getting better so the current EVs will honestly seem obsolete in a few years. So their values probably aren't going to go up in terms of supercars or anything. So that's something, I guess. But overall, I mean, the fact that a car makes a record like this and nobody really cares that much about it. I mean, everyone heard it, but nobody really cares about it. Nobody has the same reaction to it. Kind of proves the point, don't you think? That we don't really care about EVs. It's just something that we're going to be using because we have to. And that's kind of the way it is. So